Hi everyone, welcome to my review of the Laurel-Hardy murder case from 1930, directed by James Parrott and produced by Hal Roach. So yes, we are back once again, discuss Laurel-Hardy on the channel. This time around, the perfect film from them to discuss during the Halloween season, and part of the Murder in the Air set, and this is, of course, the Laurel-Hardy murder case, a very iconic and kind of loved Laurel-Hardy short, and this is the one that I've seen many times growing up, and hadn't seen this for a few years, and I wanted to watch this during this month, and haven't really done that in memory, watching it in October, and this is one that I really have a lot to say about today. So there'll be a spoiler warning for this discussion. If you haven't seen this film, I'll simply recommend seeing it first, and then come back to this video, and we can talk about this film once you've seen it in the comments, and all things Laurel-Hardy, and just celebrate the month of October with this kind of really kind of scary and spooky film from them. So yes, with all that said, let's discuss my thoughts on this film, and this is one that I absolutely love. We'll just get right into it. Not only is this the best of the kind of horror Laurel-Hardy films that they made for me that I've seen, but it is also one of the defining shorts, and I just think one of the funniest, especially ones that get into the house and they're trying to go to sleep and all this, and just getting shown to the rooms. This is just one of the funniest Laurel-Hardy films, and really makes perfect use of their kind of when they're scared. I guess the two of them, both of them, scared of different things that are going on. There's not much things that are more funnier than that, and we've got some slapstick in this, but it mostly relies on the atmosphere and just their reactions to all the strange stuff that's going on, and I think it kind of builds on that, and it obviously has these kind of more physical moments, as we go throughout the short, but it is more, kind of building on their reactions to the kind of horror that's going on, in this kind of mansion. It's also one of the rarer kind of free real films that they made, and this I think is great because we do get more time. It's around 30 minutes really, this one, and you get more time kind of building up the house, the mansion, and just the actual the actual plot here, and I think it's great because we get more time. That means as they do get into the rooms and they try to go to sleep, and we get mostly a kind of a full normal short, and then we get the build up as well before that and stuff. So it's great because it doesn't rush, and we kind of get most of the actual short itself. The setting, this is also the same set as Oliver the Eighth, that kind of mansion. If you look, you can kind of tell that, and with the stairs and everything, and that's really cool, and because in relation to that film, I think it makes perfect sense, and it is obviously one of the horror films they made, so that's really cool. And I just really love this plot. Here we have, of course, Laurel going to this mansion after Ebenezer Laurel has, died, and thinking, of course, he'll be inheriting, fortune, if he's the rightful heir, to this estate, and obviously, 3 million is kind of pitched as, and Hardy says this, and then Laurel at the beginning as well. I love that kind of moment there before they get, to the mansion, when he's saying. He's getting mixed up with the numbers there, and then saying, is it more than 1,000? And kind of Hardy says it's twice as much. So both of them kind of clueless there. Really hilarious moment then. But basically they go to the mansion, and try to see what's going on with the reading, of course, which will be taking place at this time and location, and then of course this policeman, kind of a detective here, he kind of says, there was actually a murder that took place. It wasn't a natural death. So everyone that's coming to the mansion here, or is already there, is a suspect, and they can't actually leave. So that's the great setup. We have, of course, Laurel kind of looking quite sad there, and they want to kind of leave at one point, but they can't. So they have to kind of stay the night, and all the stuff unfolds from there, where they get kind of scared in the rooms, and people start disappearing. Of course, when they're wanted on the phone. So it's just a great, kind of classic Laurel-Hardy, short here, and I think a great kind of murder mystery, feel that has the atmosphere to this. It's just something else, and I think it manages to be absolutely one of the hilarious films they made, and also it is genuinely scary. I think at times we've got that kind of man who's in disguise as a woman there, and kind of all the jewellery and stuff, and he's basically, his face, at times when he's in the dark and he comes out of, especially towards the end of the film, it's really, really scary. And Frank Austin as well, as the butler, and, he is just so scary in this film, and adds to a lot of the gags, when he's kind of just peering his head around the door there, and, kind of Laurel, the reactions from Laurel in this film are some of the funniest he's ever done, and Hardy as well, the great team up here, both in the bed, kind of trying with the covers and stuff, and it's so charming, but it is genuinely scary at times when Frank Austin, the butler, kind of peers his head round, and he has that kind of smile, and his teeth looks like, his teeth's coming out of his mouth there, and it's just so strange, and just I think the reactions from Laurel-Hardy here are priceless, and I think as well we've got the cat, that noise, and you just see the cat, his eyes, kind of, and then of course pouncing on the bed, and that was one of the funniest moments. I think one of the best moments of this is we have Laurel kind of getting up, and his clothing, or Hardy's clothing, is kind of attached to this lamp, and it's got, of course, everything's covered up in the room. That's one of the great things that adds for a lot of the gags, because they don't really know what is under the the kind of the kind of covering there. So you've got a horrible painting as well, which why would someone have that painting in their room? It's so scary, and that when it falls down, the lightning and the thunder kind of comes there. It's just so funny, their reactions there, and just the flashing and seeing the face there with the skeleton. But also, when Laurel, of course, gets attached to the lamp, and the more he kind of goes around, kind of drags it through, and then he sees what's going on, and for some reason he pulls, the kind of in the attire there, and the belt, and it all kind of quickly goes through. And Hardy turns around and sees this, and just the reactions there, absolutely hilarious. And when he goes down the stairs, I love the recurring gag. We have people running down the stairs, and the police, kind of, the detectives there, kind of saying stop messing around. But then when we've got them actually being scared, what's going on, and they all run down. It's just this charm to the film, and I think it's just so well done. This, the blend of charm and actually, its horror elements. Everything falls into place here so well. We've got Stanley Blystone as well as the main detective of the group, and just the way in which he kind of bounces off Laurel-Hardy there, and the fact that he doesn't believe them, and everyone's a suspect to him, and it just plays so well, as opposed to if someone, there wasn't really a detective in there, and it was just them kind of going around the house. You've got all these elements. You've got the scares. You've got the butler, of course, the actual attempt to, of course, pick off all these characters, and these murders that are taking place while this is all happening, of course, at this night. And I think as well, because we've got the detectives, and especially Stanley Blystone playing this main detective, who is suspicious, throughout the entire film, even though he, basically when he falls, in the chair there, and I think that is something that adds an element to the film, and adds, not believing Laurel-Hardy, and just more of a drama to the film, as well as the horror of the scares, the atmosphere, and all the messing around, and just the slapstick. So it's this great kind of I think structure to the film. The fact that it's free real, as a comedy, one of their rare ones, adds a lot of time to build up, the setting and the actual plot to this, and to patiently go through the film. And I think the progression to this short, is one of the very best actually as well. And it's just one of those kind of ultimate, epic Laurel-Hardy films, not just shorts, but certainly really I think among their best in general. But with their shorts, it's definitely one of the very best. And I think the fact that it is, kind of a free reel short, and it is a bit longer than most of their shorts, it really is, it kind of adds that element to it, and it's just all the better for it. And I think just the interactions throughout the entire film with all those kind of supporting characters, even just the people that are potentially going to be the heirs, to the Laurel estate. All of their moments are just so funny. But of course, when Laurel-Hardy, gets shown to the room, and they're kind of trying to sleep, and they can't, and it's just when that kind of moment happens, for the rest of the film, it's just one of the most laugh out loud shorts I've ever seen. And I think just when as well, we've got Laurel's reaction at one point saying, I can't relax. He wants to go home. It's just so funny. The innocence of Laurel in this one, it's one of the best for sure as well. And just I think the candle gag that goes throughout the film, and that is just geniusly done. It's so masterfully kind of built up, and the way it kind of recurs throughout those scenes. We have, of course, it falling into Hardy, his clothing, and it stays alight, whenever they drop the candle, and just as well when Laurel kind of covers his face with the painting and stuff, and then tries to get the candle. It just adds for so much hilarious moments. And I think as well when kind of they're just constantly running back to the rooms, and you've got all the other supporting characters as well, kind of running back. It really feels like a proper murder mystery with all these different characters, not just Laurel-Hardy. They're kind of part of this, but of course they are the centre stage. And I think the house itself, the mansion, is a character. And this being a spoiler review, of course we can discuss the fact that this is all a dream, of course. Once again, it's it's a nightmare they're both having, a joint one. And the bit that was at the beginning of the film, where they're kind of at the docks there, they kind of leads from the final scene to the yeah, that moment again when they wake up and they fall into the water there, and we don't actually see them interacting, really talking about what's happened. It just kind of ends there, and I think that's the perfect way to end the film. But the nature of this being once again a nightmare, it kind of it heightens the film actually, because we've got these kind of dreamlike moments, things that at the end as well we have that when we start to learn that everyone's getting picked off, and it's someone who's trying to do this, to kind of you get the money themselves. These two particular individuals, of course, that kind of man who's dressed up as disguised as a woman there, for this as well. I think in particular when he's kind of picking off these characters, I think it's just so well done, and the way in which the chair is used, of course, for that, so funny. We just hear someone's wanting on the phone, and they kind of they go down and they address this, you're wanted on the phone. The butler says, to individual characters and people, of course, and then they go. You just hear their screams, and some of them are really, really funny, and some of them are generally very, very scary. Just their kind of cries there, and we don't actually see it really happening until a bit later on in the short. And the way that's done is so masterfully constructed, and just gradually getting more and more information there. And I think towards the very end of the film, when we actually see this happening, and more, and Hardy, when he goes into the room finally, they're wanted on the phone as well. Well, Laurel is of course wanted, and Hardy goes in his place, and because of his size, he gets stuck in the chair, and when it goes down, he screams and he comes right back up. That's one of the funniest moments. But I think that whole bit there, when we have Laurel then going in, and then the anger of Laurel, and he kind of pulls the phone abruptly, and Hardy goes back down, nearly there, and it's very, very close that he could have fallen in. That's so funny. But yeah, just that moment when that kind of the murderer there comes from behind them, and it's really, really scary at that moment there. And then of course just them struggling, and Laurel at first though just kind of punching, and that moment there when kind of punches, and the man's kind of face jolts back. It's just such a funny moment of slapstick. It's one of the funniest moments really in their shorts, and in fact I used to reenact this with my brother. Kind of some of these, a lot of the Laurel-Hardy moments we did, of course, like the music box and all these ones. But this moment with the punch and the kind of reaction there, we used to reenact, and it's just such a kind of great moment of slapstick. And I think then it leads to them, the struggle there, and once again, just because it is, a dream, before anything really happens there, they wake up, and that is just, I think such a great moment. It's a comfort moment there when they kind of wake up and it's all a dream, but it is also quite scary because once again they portray the element of having a nightmare so realistically, and a lot of the things that are going on, and the tropes to this, and just the kind of the feeling of just as you're really I guess confronting the kind of the evil, the demons of the dream, or the actual, in this case, the murderer, the actual villain of this, as you wake up before anything really comes to a close. And I think that's really disturbing, but it is really realistic as well, and I think again comforting. They wake up before this happens, and in the end they fall into the water there, and I think it's just a perfect shot, this one, from start to finish. We've got the kind of patient build up, the interactions at first. We have Laurel and Hardy at the door, and the moment with the umbrella as well, and the rain, just classic Laurel and Hardy caper, and I think also one of the strongest kind of back and forths between the two of them in this one, with the kind of Hardy really being quite aggressive to Laurel, and pushing him quite a bit in this one, and Laurel also later on in the short kind of bouncing back with the kind of the aggression there, the pulling the phone. He's had enough, and it's just it's so well done in this, and the chemistry is just some of the best. It's great set, of course, the location, the use of weather as well in the film, and just everything creating this atmosphere, but not taking away from this. It's hilarious Laurel and Hardy short. This could have been one. There's a bit more of just purely a horror film with more about the house and the plot here, and what's going on with the killings, but I think it just has this perfect balance. It doesn't take away at all from the comedy and the charm to this, and in the end it's actually very epic for me, and it's just really one of my favourite shorts. I just love everything about this film, and I think Laurel and Hardy, in terms of the chemistry and just the gags in this, and their reaction shots, and all this kind of stuff, I think it's some of the very, very best in their films, full stop. And I think especially shorts, this is one of the pinnacles of their shorts, and I think it just really is one of the unforgettable films that they made, and for me it's definitely one that I've seen many, many times growing up, and it's just perfect, I think, to watch around the Halloween season. And I think really, really, unforgettable short with some of the most charming, kind of feel-good moments as well. When they're in the bed and trying to get to sleep, it's got that warm feeling when they're in the pajamas and stuff, and it's just. Yeah, it's one of my favourites. So overall, my rating for this film is 100%. So yes, this one is an absolute masterpiece for me. Just excels, as this kind of comedy short, and also, as a horror kind of murder mystery feel. And I think it's just one of their best for me. It's just a real perfect short that they made, and I think just the scary moments, the spooky atmosphere, all the kind of charming interactions with the police, the detectives, and even just the kind of butler there. It's just. Everything in this film is priceless. It's just so memorable from start to finish. The intro to the film and the outro as well. Everything in between. The actual ending itself as well. I think it's just so funny how they kind of fall and they roll and they're fighting still and they roll into the water there and what a film this is. I think it's one that I grew up watching time and time again, and seeing it again. It's been a few years, and seeing it again, the Halloween period. It's just great to do this, and it is definitely one of my favourites. I think it's got some of the funniest material that they ever done. Laurel-Hardy, and I think gags, the way they recur in the film, the writing to this, and just even quite investing, as well. Plot to this, and how it is, about this the will reading and how this murder took place, and over the course of the film we learn more and more about the actual killings and those involved and those responsible, and right up to the very end, this kind of this tension, this dread, and also it doesn't take away at all from the actual comedy of this and the charm, and even though there's loads of characters in this, and it's kind of this this house classic murder mystery feel, I think it's of course a Laurel-Hardy short like no other, and it doesn't take away from their kind of pairing and just all the time they're kind of in the bed and the covers and stuff and hiding and running back to the rooms, and it's just this pure charm to the film at times, this magic that's just it's priceless, and definitely one of the very best shorts for me personally. So yes, that's my thoughts on this film. What do you think? It'd be really great to hear, and tell me your thoughts in the comments. What was your experience with this one, and how does it compare for you to different Laurel-Hardy shorts or features? And it's great to talk about this during October, of course, being the Halloween period, and it's just great as always to discuss Laurel-Hardy. And next up, we'll go for some more shorts, I feel, for Laurel-Hardy on the channel, and obviously wanted to do this on all of the 8th this month, and because they're both kind of horror films that they made, but there'll be some more as well very soon, different ones that are not just horror shorts, and there'll be some more features as well, of course, from Laurel-Hardy soon that we'll discuss, and that'll be really cool to do. Always great to discuss Laurel-Hardy, and today it'd be great to hear your thoughts on this film and all things Laurel-Hardy in the comments. So yes, as always, take care and thanks for watching.